And first, I want to thank you for you guys to help me to clean this place and to make everything more organized in the last weeks. Okay, so first we need to know where can we get the parts and tools. Okay, basically, maybe you can come closer. That's the tools we have. Okay, so all the tools will be here. So that's a screwdriver and some saw, hammers, and the L wrench. Okay, and that's a soldering machine. Okay, we have I don't know how to call this.
Sucking
yeah, if you make a mistake, you can suck the solvents. Okay, and but the device can be very hot, so you can have the device to fix your PC board or objects like this. Okay. And last is a heater. Usually we put heater here. Okay, and everything related to making the terminals is all in this drawer. Okay, that's terminals. And that's insulation tube. Okay, to isolate terminals. Okay, everything is here. And sometimes you need to have some multimeter is here. Okay, some cables. Okay, and you need wires in here for different sizes. So, do you know the spec of wire, AWG? No. American wire gauge. Okay, the number, if your number is larger, that means it's smaller.
Oh, okay.
For example, the AWG 30 is more small. Okay, but AWG 20 is more, can I say big? I mean the diameter is bigger. Okay, usually we use AWG 18 to 20 for like our power core or something. Okay, anyway, some core they have number on it, but if they don't have the number on it, you need to have tools to measure it. So we have some tool here. This one, yeah. This one is not very good, but you know, it still works. So you can check the dimension. Okay, this is very important because if you use the wrong size of wires, you know, you may damage your devices. Okay, another thing is, first is about size. The other one is about the materials. Okay, if you check wire, some of them is made of copper, but some of them is made by aluminum. Okay, you know the difference?
Yes.
What's the difference?
Different materials, different metals.
I know. Copper has better conductivity,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay, so once you are going to connect something, what kind of wire you should choose? I give you an example. If you are going to link to the, where can we find the power supply? No power supply. This rack is for electronics. This rack is for electrical. Okay, if I'm going to conduct something like this, should I use the wire with copper or aluminum? Copper wire. Because this is going to go through the large current. Okay, I mean, like you turn on the fan or you turn on the light, the current is go through all the time. So it's better to use copper. Okay, but copper is more expensive. That's why we have the wire with aluminum, right? Okay, but if we are going to, like this terminal, okay, like this PLC, right? PLC, we have I/O, That's Siemens PLC, that's what you want. Okay, anyway, for this, we are just give a control. I mean, we may set a signal on, off. So it's okay to use aluminum. Why? Okay, but make sure you use the right spec for it. Okay, so it's not just about the size, also about the materials. Okay? So the more expensive devices will be in this drawer. Okay, so you want to use this, you better to tell me. Okay, especially if something has a label. Okay, it means it's a property. It costs over $10,000. Okay, you can borrow it, no problems, but let me know before you borrow. Okay. So, yeah, that's it. Okay, and well, like I say, once we are going to build a robotic system, probably we need to start with a controller, right? We start with what? You may need to have a stable motor, controller, right? So you may need to have a microprocessor, right? So how can we put them together like we just saw on the painting robots? That's what you have to do. Okay. So anyway, you have to study this in your project. Okay. For hand skill practice, we will just tell you where to get the parts, how to put them together. But it's easy. You find a tool, we do some practice. Okay, that's it. Okay, but I don't want you guys to make a toy. I want to make a industrial grade products. So once we make this is just for exercise. Okay, we may start with this is called breadboard, right? So you can put this on it. Okay, but after you finish the test, it works, and then you finish the program. What's the next step?
You want to make it industrial.
You want to make a board, right? You want to make a board.
Oh, right.
So you find a board, you make a board by yourself, something like this. Okay, so that's the process. But we are not going to do this because it takes too much time, right? Why I say this? Because that's what students did before. Okay, you may make this or you made a board. This is, how can I say?
Perfect.
You don't need to wash this, but you can use this. You just dig this. So you also work. But you also don't like a product. It's not good. Once you make something, you have to, I'm going to deliver this machine to Paraguay. Okay, so I hope this can be used for 10 years. So do you believe this can work? This can work? No, it cannot work, but this can work. Okay, but how can we make this board? Okay, you can finish your layout and place your order on Shopee, Shopee or Taobao, Alibaba.
Yes.
Okay, they can make this, maybe only cost 1,000 NT, 2,000 NT, depends on the board size. Okay, so you can order this from China. Anyway, I don't know how can they make this so cheap. However, now most of the students, they don't do this. Okay, but I need to tell you the process, the whole process. Understand?
Yes.
Okay, so once you are going to work in a company in the future, eventually, why you studied here? Why you study here? You want to find a job. You want to help your company, maybe even for your country to develop your industries, right? So you need to know the whole things, but not just I know how to program this. It cannot work because this is a toy, right? Okay, we want to make a little product like something like this. Okay, this can be a product. We put everything together. Okay, so there's some test board here. This is quite important because why we need to do this? Because we have to put things together. We may need to control more than one motor. Like today, we have a 6 axis Nova project, right? So we are going to control 6 Nova and 6 motors. This board can use to control 4 motors. Okay, but how can we put this together? We need to have a board. We need design. I don't ask you guys to do this, but once you start to work, join a company, you may be able to know someone will be in charge for this. But it can be you, it can be some other guy who are in charge for electronics, controlling. Okay, for more complicated control, you may need to use a PGA like this. Okay, like this. Okay, that's a chip. Okay, that's we call FPGA. If we are going to, IC design.
Yes.
IC design. So you can design the IC here. Okay, but if you are not going to deliver large amount of products, okay, for example, you are going to design some circuit for maybe 10, 200 machines. Are you going to mass product this semiconductor? It's impossible. So this can work for some control system, but you minimize them. Okay, it will be something like the Siemens controller. Okay, so you can use this to create it. This is more powerful, much powerful than microcontroller, microprocessor. Okay, so everything is here. You can use all this at this room. There's no problems. But just make sure, be safe. Don't hurt yourself. Don't get shot. Don't get caught. Okay, so, and this is electronics. This is for electrical. So you can have a motor. Okay, you can have some sensor switch, like this switch. This switch is a 24 volt. Okay, so you need to have a power supply, right? DC power supply. Why there is no power supply? You should have. Okay, anyway. Okay, and we need to have a terminals. That's a terminal. Okay, so you need to have a track to put this terminal. All right. And this can also use for this. This can be also put here. Okay, so if you need the aluminum track, there is some here. Okay, we should have one, some. I didn't know why this is here. Okay, anyway, you know how to build this. Okay, so that's components that you need. And this rack is for pneumatic. Okay. And pressure gauge, fitting, pneumatic fitting. Okay. And there's some cables here. Okay. And this rack is for others. Okay, clear? So try to, once you finish your work, try to put it back. And this is something we built before, like the Nova. So we don't take it apart to keep it. So if you need it, you can still use it, reuse it. Okay. There is some example that you can take this as reference, like this one. This one as an example. And also, this is another examples. Understand? Okay, so I hope in this summer you can know everything, and then you can know how to few these kind of things, put them together. Okay, but if you find something like this, try to put here, electrical. Okay, okay, but I said this is an example, but I didn't say you have to learn from it because some of the quality is really not good. So that's why we need to have a training for you. I hope you can make this better. Not do better. I mean, the connector quality has to be better because for safety. Okay, just like I say, you need to, once you are going to use this for 10 years, 5 years, you know how to make it look more rugged. Like the wire shaking, it doesn't work, right? So you need to have a fastener, okay? And there's some components here. This drill, this is a cooling car. So this is for you to temporarily to keep something. So as you can see, the drawers are a mess. It's okay. Okay, for example, now we have some work, right? So you take some tools, that you need, right? So you take the tools, so you put on this car, you put here. It doesn't matter. I don't argue with you. I mean, this is for working. Okay. But once you finish, you put them back in order. Okay. But you know, if you put everything back every day, it kind of wasting your time. Right? Okay, you can keep here for now, or we have some empty toolbox. You can put, or you can take a basket, right? So you just take the tools you need, like this, you need, right? So after you finish, you put everything in you need, right? So you finish, you just keep it temporary, or keep on the top. Okay, and the people know that's your stuff. They are not going to touch it. And once you come to work, you know, you got everything you need. Right?
Yes.
Come ideas? Okay, so this is temporary car, and that's a stool, right? Because we need to, sometimes we need to insulate this, right? So we need to have some stand. Yeah, let's say like this. Like this. Okay. So the same. The first drawer is basically for electronics, and the next drawer is for electrical. But what's the difference between electronics and electrical? Not really.
Not really.
Okay. Usually, if the things
Signal.
like this is a terminal, right? This is a deck. So this is for PC board. Okay. How about this? Oh, sorry. This is also for PC board. Here there is deck. But this one is not for PC board because there is no deck. You know what I mean? This is for you to make a socket. So you need to have I cannot find it, but anyway, you need to have a housing to make a cable. Okay, so once you find some redundant parts, slowly back. Okay. So first draw, electronics. No, it's not. It's electrical. Right. This is electrical. Right? Electrical. And then this is a pin, right? Pin is for PC board. So we put here. First row. And the rest you put here. Some pen, some metals. And maybe used for. And the last portion is the screw. We try to manage this, but we don't have enough time to manage this. But I will try to make the screw in order. Okay, anyway, later we are going to do is to learn how to cut this. Okay, because once you are going to build a machine, you need to use this strap. Right? So I think in August we are going to teach you how to use some power machine, a saw machine to cut this, and to use these accessories to lock, so you can build a platform. Okay? So that's all the courses for the head skill exercise. So that's all. That's my introduction. And now is your work.